hit you for the first time today. Wow. I didn't mean it. It just happened. Get out, get out, get out, get out. Break up, get out of the house, move away. That's it. End of story. Nah, nah. You need someone else. You need actually, in fact, maybe you need to get away from a lot of people and just kind of figure things out.
It's showtime, folks.
Hey, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Into the Music. My name is Greg, and I'm going to be your host tonight for some wonderful music. At least I hope so. And that depends on Ian, if Ian gave me a really good song or not. The band is Whippin' Boy, and the song is We Don't Need Anyone Else. Now, I don't know this band. Um, I don't know the song. But I'm so glad that I'm doing this song tonight because Ian, you have the patience of a saint. This is a long time coming, and yeah, I really appreciate it. I really do. So yeah, next time I won't be so tardy in getting to your song. So here we go, Whippin' Boy. We don't need anyone else.
In the morning I am a recluse, lost in memories, ideal situations and convulsions. I'm never in and I can't remember. They built portholes for Bono so he could gaze out across the bay and sing about mountains maybe. You are what you own in this land. You can be king and it all depends on the view and what you can see. And around here, nobody tells me what to do anymore. We don't need nobody else. 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 Why say words that I do not mean? They'll only serve to amuse, ridicule and destroy. Are they ever to teach? I hit you for the first time today. I didn't mean it, it just happened. You would not let me go to the phone. You wanted to make love and I did not. And now I know the distance between us. Christ, we weren't even fighting, I was just annoyed. Silence, and you started to cry. That really hurt, you said. Yeah, you thought you knew. We don't need nobody else. We don't need nobody else. Just you and me. We don't need nobody else. We don't need nobody else. Just you and me. We don't need nobody else. We don't need nobody else. Just
Yeah, I'm really liking this because I'm drawn in by his vocals. I mean, it's a sing, talk, speak kind of style, but man, he is convincing. He's bringing me in. The look on his face, the tone in his voice, the things that he's singing about, he's actually saying. Yeah, I'm totally brought in. And I just like that, how that flows, that chorus. We don't need nobody else, and just those chord changes with that. Yeah, this is good. I like this. Where are these guys? How come I never heard of them? Anyway, here we go.
you and me. the wine takes hold and sinks into your veins. I try to force it, but it's not there. And love gives a comfort, and comfort makes us MCs in the kitchen, put beads in our hair. It all came out tonight. The Queen of Drugs broke down and cried, 'cause she shot her best friend's guy. She knew the form, she knew the lie. She wasn't shy, she refused to try. And I'm gazing out of portholes, and I'm wondering why we don't need nobody else. We don't need nobody else, just you and me. We don't need nobody else. We don't need nobody else, just you and me. We don't need nobody else. We don't need nobody else, just you and me. Just you and me. Just you and me. Au revoir. Vive Michel Foucault. Long live the spirit.
Wow. I got to tell you, I was writing down, and it's really interesting because a lot of times I'm so much into the music and I'm not really listening to the lyrics. I'm hearing a couple of things. So I write down a couple of sort of catch lines, a couple of words. Or I'm really, the music's okay, but the lyrics like totally bring me in. I like the music here. Like I said, I love that chorus line. And so the music was good, but I was also paying attention. Again, that was his performance, his vocal performance. He brought me in. He brought me in. That was really good. That was a strong performance. So I mean, I'm writing all these lines down here, and I will go over them on the other side. Yeah, I really can't wait to get into the lyrics on this one because I mean, I'm writing stuff down like in the morning, I'm a recluse. You are what you own in this land. Um, and in this stuff here, which really like, I mean, from the beginning, the song seemed kind of dark and shadowy. Um, even though that line that he's singing, we don't need nobody else. I mean, that normally could be taken as like a romantic line, you know? You and me, we're in this together. I love, we're gonna live on love, and everybody else can just go F off, and it's us against the world, and that's kind of romantic, right? It 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 wasn't really being sung like that. The first time around, maybe, and it kind of contrasted with like what he was singing in the first verse, so it was kind of weird. But then as the song went on and he was singing that line more and more, he was singing with more irritation, more angst. There was something there, like, yeah, something's not right. In this line here, you wanted to make love, I did not. Now I notice the distance between ourselves. I mean, that is the truth, right? I mean, that happens in so many relationships. You get to a point where, you passed all the sort of, lovey-dovey stuff, and now you're getting into like, the day-to-day, and where the clothes would just be normally flying off, now they're not. And then the person who gets, you know, sort of, you know, declined, right, and rejected, feels like that. And now all of a sudden, there's that sort of separation, that distance between the both of them. And I mean, just for him to sing those lines, I mean, that's just raw and that's real. That's facts. It just happens in so many relationships. I mean, that's why a lot of them break up, you know? Because in the reality that, I mean, there's relationships that can get around that. You can talk it out, I mean, it could be stress, you know, uh, in the job, about life, it could be a number of things that like, um, that normally you would just kind of rely on each other just to make each other happy. just by looking at each other. At some point in the relationship, that stops working. Not to say, I mean, if it stops working all the time, then you have a real problem. But there are times where, if one person in the relationship wants to make love and the other person doesn't, and you got to deal with that. You got to accept that and move on. And it's obviously causing a real problem here. And he was talking about as the alcohol takes over, I tried to force. I don't know like what he's talking about there. Um, I have some ideas, but I'm not going to talk about. I'm not going to sort of speculate at this point. We'll get into the lyrics. But as he's singing that line, we don't need nobody else. Later in the song, he's almost screaming it out, and he's really kind of taking shots at it, right? It's not romantic. He doesn't believe it. At that point, he doesn't believe it. If anything, if anything, I think it's symbolic of the sort of stranglehold that the relationship has on him. It's actually strangling him. It's smothering him. It's choking him. It just seems to be like him and her together, and there's nobody else out there. You know, um, and that's actually, I think, the play on it, right? That, and I could be wrong on this, but it's almost as though like they basically kind of stayed just to themselves, and what's happening is that there's nobody else, there's nothing else out there that's kind of influencing them and helping to kind of like break things up a little bit, and sort of allowing them to kind of like sort of take their minds and put it onto something else, right? It's just them. It's just, I think it's them 24/7, and that's not good, right? So you kind of need somebody else. You need something else. Um, and I think that's why he's kind of screaming it out, you know? Yeah. Um, I think, again, I could be wrong on this. Ian, what do you think? Let me know how close I am. Um, yeah. What do you think? So let me get into the band here. I pulled them up on Wiki. They were, so no longer a band. They were an Irish alternative rock band who were active from the late 1980s until the late 1990s, releasing 3 full-length albums in that time. They reformed, the original lineup reformed from 2005 to 2006, just only a year, before returning once more from 2011 to 2012 for another year with only 2 original members. So, yeah, I think maybe they were just going through the motions. They tried a couple of times, but nah. Yeah, formed in Dublin in 1988. Fiongal McKee is vocals, Paul Page guitar, Miles McDonald bass vocals, Colm Hassett drums. They initially performed cover versions of songs by the Velvet Underground in the fall and went by the name Lolita and the Whippin' Boys, shortening their name when their female guitarist left. Okay, that's pretty interesting. And yeah, and then there was an album that they recorded in 1995, and this was one of the songs. Just saying here that 3 minor hit singles were on that album. I wonder if this is one of them. I would think so. So this was 1985. Yeah. So it's really interesting though, because with U2 coming out and stuff like that, I would have thought that record companies would have just been almost like with the Beatles, when they came out in the 60s and it was like the British wave. I would have thought that maybe they would have just been searching the streets for like any band in Ireland, to come on over and make it big. But and I think the song is good. It's strong. So yeah, let me get into the lyrics. So here we go. In the morning, I am a recluse, lost in memories, ideal situations and convulsions. That's wow. I'm never in, and I can't remember. They built portholes for Bono. I was just talking about you too. They built portholes for Bono so he could gaze out across the bay and sing about mountains, maybe. Yeah. Stop taking a shot at Bono. Just he could sing about anything and make it beautiful and romantic. I I don't know. Not that he did. Well, yeah, I guess he could. I mean, Bono could write about anything. Um, hmm. I think Bono's voice actually could sort of take you to places. Um, in his lyrics too. Interesting though. And I digressed. And you are what you own in this land. You can be king, and it all depends on the view and what you can see. And around here, nobody tells me what to do anymore. We don't need nobody else. Let me repeat that 3 more times. But that's interesting. Nobody here tells me what to do around here. Why not? What happened? So next verse. Why say words that I do not mean? They only serve to amuse, ridicule, and destroy. Hardly ever to teach. I hit you for the first time today. Wow. I didn't mean it. It just happened. Get out, get out, get out, get out. Break up, get out of the house, move away. That's it. End of story. Nah, nah. You need someone else. You need actually, in fact, maybe you need to get away from a lot of people and just kind of figure things out. Hmm. You wouldn't let go. You wouldn't let me go to the phone. You wanted to make love and I did not. Now, so the phone, right? So the phone's ringing. That means someone on the outside is trying to get through and she's not letting that happen. And then she just wants only him. So make love to me, and he did not. Now I know the distance between us. Christ, we weren't even fighting. I was just annoyed. Silence, and you started to cry. That really hurt, you said. Yeah, and you thought you knew me. We don't need anybody else. We don't need nobody else, just you and me. We don't need nobody else, just repeats that. Consider this as the wine takes hold and sinks into your veins. I try to force it, but it's not there. Love gives you comfort, and comfort makes you dim. She's in the kitchen putting beads in her hair. So what is he trying to force? He's trying to be in love with her, trying to be romantic, and it's just not happening. It all came out tonight. The queen of drugs broke down and cried because she'd been shagging her best friend's guy. She knew the form, she knew the lie. She wasn't shy and she refused to try. That's why I'm gazing out of portholes and I'm wondering why. So wait, so he caught her cheating and she's on drugs? Yeah, this is a toxic relationship, man. We don't need it, nobody else. We don't need nobody else. Just you and me. Nah, yeah, nope. And he knows that. He knows that. I mean, as the song's going on, and that's the point of the song. We don't need nobody else. I mean, obviously he knows that he needs somebody else and he doesn't need her and she doesn't need him. They need to get away from each other. Yeah, this is the mark of a really good song. The fact that it has me totally invested in it, totally getting into the meaning, the words. Ian, I really like this a lot. Thank you so much for this request. And thank you again for your patience, your kind patience. You're a good man. And with that said, you take care, Ian. And to everyone out there, I hope you like this. If you like this, hit the like button and join us. Join this wonderful growing channel. Help us get to 5,000 if we're not there already by the time this drops. And with that said, I'll see all of you on the next episode of Into the Music.